Have you ever had to teach a client a painful lesson about payment? A few years after I started running my own small IT business, I was hired by the owner of a local restaurant. He wanted me to clean up and optimize several PCs spread across his business locations, and also set up some forms and templates for his staff. It wasn't a quick, one-day job. The work stretched over a month because of scheduling conflicts and school holidays, but eventually, I wrapped everything up. When I finished, the owner shook my hand, told me he was satisfied, and said to go ahead and send the invoice. That was music to my ears. I went home, typed it up, and emailed him a bill for just over £400. Then came silence. I waited a week, then another. I sent reminder emails. I left polite voicemails on his landline and mobile. Nothing. Weeks passed. After a couple of months of no response, I happened to bump into him at the supermarket. I asked about the unpaid invoice. That's when he gave me the line. He said all the computers were as bad as they had been before, and that he'd tried contacting me but couldn't reach me. That was laughable. Both my landline and mobile had caller display, voicemail, and email logs. I knew he hadn't tried. More importantly, any IT professional knows computers don't stay pristine if the people using them go back to the same bad habits. He wasn't complaining about the work. He was just looking for an excuse not to pay. I tried the official route. I hired a local debt collector, handed him all the emails and call logs, and waited. He came back saying the owner wasn't disputing the invoice itself, only the quality of the work, which basically meant it was my word against his. Sure, I could take him to small claims court, but I might be ordered to repeat the whole job. After weighing it up, I decided the extra time wasn't worth £400, but I wasn't about to let him walk away without consequence. It was late November when the idea struck. Valentine's Day was only a few months away, and restaurants rely on that night to fill every seat. I created 2 new email accounts under female names and used them to contact the restaurant. I posed as a woman organizing a surprise 40th birthday party for her husband, scheduled for Valentine's night. I CC'd the husband's sister in the emails to make it look more legitimate. From there, I let the plan snowball. I said we'd need space for a large group, maybe even enough to fill the entire restaurant. The owner was thrilled. He told me he'd happily reserve the whole place and arrange the seating however we liked. He just needed the deposit as soon as possible. Of course, the sister confirmed she'd posted a check. When he followed up, she said it must have been lost in the mail. She promised to send another. Meanwhile, I kept him engaged by asking for a proposed menu so I could share it with the attendees. I even sent back full pre-orders, adding in a few fussy eater requests to make it believable. By the start of February, he was visibly nervous. He'd been holding off other reservations, waiting for this supposed big party. I told him the check would be sent by special delivery, but that someone would need to be at the restaurant during the day to sign for it. The restaurant didn't open until 5, and the owner lived 25 miles away. He'd have to come in early and wait around for a package that never arrived. About a week before Valentine's, his tone changed. He sent a frustrated email saying he couldn't hold the booking any longer without a deposit. He claimed they'd turned away multiple inquiries already. I didn't bother replying. I had already achieved what I wanted. On Valentine's night, my wife at the time and I had dinner at another restaurant nearby. Afterwards, we walked past his place. The parking lot was nearly empty. Just 2 cars, one of them his. For what should have been one of the busiest nights of his year, the restaurant sat half deserted. I don't know how much he lost that night, but based on his prices and the fact that he'd reserved the whole restaurant, I'd bet it was far more than the £400 he owed me. And in the end, I learned some lessons too. Always get written confirmation when a client says they're happy with the work. Don't let invoices sit unpaid for too long, and never assume someone's handshake is worth anything until the money clears. As for him, word got around. I made sure every local IT professional I knew was aware of how he operated. Soon, he was either blacklisted or forced to pay up front for any technical work. He thought he could brush me off and keep his money. Instead, he wound up paying a much bigger price.